Hello, and welcome to my channel. And yeah, thanks to all the guys that showed up at my live stream yesterday. I'm really grateful. I just went on like not scheduled or anything, and then still people had time to come in and just keep me company while I was working on the scavenger hunt. I really appreciate it. So big thanks to all those who showed up and also have viewed the recorded afterward. I think I had a very nice live stream, so it was nice. Today is Saturday, and I am so happy. The snow seems to be melting, and the frost has taken a little break. So I have to confess that we still had our Christmas lights. Is it called that? It's like faux tree with lights in it in chains that has been decorated the edges of our house and our garage, and we just let it be there because we had a lot of frost and bad weather right after Christmas. So there was these long icicles forming in that light chain. I don't know what to call it. It's called a guirlande on Danish, but I think guirlande is a French word, right? So can I just translate it into some Tarzan English, like the Christmas guirlande? This sounds weird in my mouth, so I'm just gonna call it like Christmas lights. But anyway, it was just filled with icicles, and it's like several meters long, especially the long one that's around our house. It's like six one of these chains connected together, so there's like very, very long one. And my hubby, he was like, we should take it down, and I'm like, no, just don't touch it. I mean, all those icicles, I don't know, where would you put it, because there's still frost outside, so we have to wait until it just melts by itself, and then it's less crazy to take it down. So, but now it's down. But I really loved, December when we put out lights on our house. It just looks so nice. I don't think that there is any other time of the year where normal people can light up their garden and their house besides for Christmas, but I really wish that we had some sort of tradition that could make it last until the winter months are gone. But I don't know, it just looks weird if you have Christmas lights on your house in March. But I really like that soft look it gives it when it kind of welcomes you home, when you come home after dark. And it gets dark still around 4 and 5 o'clock. So many hours of darkness still. I don't know what to say. Here I'm painting on a little canvas board with oils. And it's just a cafe scenery with some reflection on the street, because the streets are wet. And I really like that effect when you are painting rainy sceneries and wet reflections on the street. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's sped up a lot of times because it takes time, even though the substrate is so small, it still takes time to sit and paint. So it's sped up so you don't see it in real life. But remember that I took out my oil paint in a watercolor palette? Yeah, I know it sounds crazy. But what I did was that I took a wooden palette from Sennelier, and then I removed the pans with watercolors and put in empty full pans instead, and then filled out those full pan, giving me a somewhat limited palette of watercolor. I think I had 6 colors in it. It really worked nice super, super nice. And it was like that tiny empty pan kind of kept the paint moist longer, because it wasn't spread out on a wooden palette like sane oil painters would use, you know. So I had it in this little plastic cup, you could say, where I could scoot it into a corner so it would form a skin. You know, the surface that's exposed to air was so minimized compared to if I had a dollop on a wooden palette, where much more paint would be exposed and thinned out to the air, because it is the oxidation that makes the oil paint curate and not so much heat. So keeping them in a vacuum state, whether it's covered up with saran wrap or covered up with a lid of paint, you know, itself, can keep the oil paint fresh. So I really like that palette, and I think that's the way to go forward for me, to work with that little wooden palette. Okay, the recording is ending soon, so I can end my mindless string of words. I don't really know what to say. But I wish you guys a nice weekend. And I hope that you too can get a relief from the cold weather, just like we have experienced this weekend here in my country. Because it really is like a fresh breath, like, oh, finally not so chilling when you get out and walk outside. So, yeah, wish you a nice weekend. Bye-bye from me. Hi.